You're watching WEAR News, the Morning Current on WFGX.
Good morning. Good morning. I was pushing the stream button on Facebook. Welcome to the Morning Current. You can watch on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. We're just glad you're here. I'm Laura Hussey.
I'm Jared Willits, and our number one story today. The family of Senior Airman Roger Fortson will hold a news conference calling for accountability in his death.
The Fortson family will be there, and they're going to be joined by civil rights attorney Ben Crump as well as Reverend Cecil Williams. They say they plan to speak about the mother's ongoing grief, accountability, and the lingering questions nearly 2 years after Fortson was killed.
You remember, I'm sure, in May of 2024, a 23-year-old Roger Fortson was shot and killed inside his Fort Walton Beach apartment. Investigators say former Okaloosa deputy Eddie Duran had been directed to Fortson's apartment in response to a domestic disturbance. After repeated knocking, Fortson opened the door while holding a handgun at his side pointed down.
Investigators say Duran shot Fortson multiple times before telling him to drop the gun. Duran is charged with manslaughter.
Today's news conference will be at 10:30 at the Greg Chapel AME Church on Carson Drive in Fort Walton Beach.
A Pensacola man set to be sentenced today in the murder of his ex-girlfriend.
Mikhail Fountain was found guilty of second-degree murder last month. Authorities say Fountain killed his ex-girlfriend, Kayla Atwood, in January of 24. Say he buried her body in a shallow grave in the woods near Fairfield Drive and Crow Road.
Fountain and Atwood exchanged text messages the day she went missing, and she was seen getting into his truck. Police say Fountain deleted those texts and that he denied seeing Atwood that day. He also went to Atwood's neighbors' homes. He was asking to see surveillance footage, and police say when he got it, he deleted the video files. Fountain now faces life in prison. If
you'd like some more background details on this story, just get out your phone, scan the QR. That'll take you to that particular story, this story, on our website, WEARTV.com.
And this morning we have new details on the arrest of a mother who is charged in the death of her child.
Jalinda Smith was arrested Friday afternoon, charged with aggravated negligent manslaughter. The body of her 5-year-old son was found in Perdido Bay near Scenic Highway Friday morning.
Sheriff Chip Simmons says Smith had called her sister telling her she had harmed her son. Smith's sister then alerted authorities. Investigators started looking for Smith, and during the search, a passerby found a trash bag that the child's body was inside.
Yesterday, Sheriff Simmons shared the sheriff's office was also alerted the day before the incident, but at that time, no wrongdoing was found.
The day before, on Thursday, we got a call because I hadn't heard from the mother, the suspect in this case, but she made contact with her, the individual that fixes her car, and then the very next morning was when we got a call from the sister saying, I'm not getting a good feeling about the safety of the 5-year-old, and unfortunately it spiraled from there.
The sheriff says the child may have suffered from malnourishment. The cause of death remains under investigation. We are waiting for the medical examiner's office to complete their autopsy. Sheriff also revealed the child had other siblings in the home as well as other caretakers. Smith was previously accused of child endangerment, charged with child neglect in 2022. Those charges were dropped.
A lot of you had something to say about this story. So far, we've received over 70 comments. A lot of people feeling a sense of outrage and asking questions. Let's start with Romy. Did DCF investigate? How many times was any action taken?
Cindy wrote in part, sounds to me like a whole bunch of people, agencies, and the justice system failed this little boy.
And Sabrina says, I'm praying for her heart and soul to find Jesus.
Good morning. It is 7:04 on the Morning Current. Glad you were with us. Let's get the day started for your outside work with a little fog.
Yeah, a little foggy out there, Brooke.
And we're going to be looking at some fog as we head through your morning. We have our dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning, and it does look like visibility is going to be quite low. Can't even see the end of the pier there over Okaloosa Island. Our dense fog advisory is in place for all of us this morning, and you can see why our sensors indicating anywhere from half a mile to less as we go into just across the area. So just make sure you are giving yourself a little extra time to navigate some of those low visibility spots. Even if you're not looking too foggy, if you are heading out, you might encounter some of that as you are driving around. As for your temperatures, they are quite mild. We're in the 50s right now, low to mid 50s. Highs are expected to get into the 70s today. Now the fog will burn off as we head later into your morning, and then by the afternoon we'll just look at some cloudy skies. Wind should be fairly calm today. We're not expecting any rain for today. Your radar is going to stay dry, just looking a little extra cloudy. So as you head out the door door today. We're watching that fog this morning. We could see another chance of some fog tomorrow morning as well, but then we do have some changes as we head into the middle of the week with that chance of some rain. You can see we do have our temperatures warm and then staying in the 60s all the way through 7 p.m. 50s tomorrow morning.
Check it out your drive from a different angle. Here's the roundabout at the Pensacola Bay Bridge, and you can see fog it's out there and maybe heavier in some spots. Just give yourself a couple extra minutes. It's 7:05.
Scenic Highway, as part of your daily drive, you know about this. The city is moving ahead with emergency repairs to a part of Scenic Highway. Erosion making the roadway, they say, unstable.
The city is expected to vote on what they call an easement agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation. That's expected Thursday, and essentially it'll get the ball rolling on these emergency repairs. WEAR's Aria Circa is there live right now with more on what's expected. Good morning.
Good morning. City leaders say that a failed stormwater pipe is the culprit for the erosion and the destruction they've seen on Scenic Highway. I actually hear some of the workers down that way. You can hear them really loud and really clear. Crews with the Florida Department of Transportation are out there right now. Even though no easement contract has been agreed upon yet, officials warn if the erosion issues is not fixed soon, the road could fail.
It's significant, creeping in pretty close to the road, and you can see with your naked eye some significant washout. So I'm not an engineer, I never pretended to be one, but I do trust the views of the experts, the folks on the Florida Department of Transportation. When they come to you and say this is a critical issue, that's something I'm going to listen to.
Not everyone is happy about the repair project, as the construction zone is directly across from Park Place Apartments. Residents told WEAR the vibration from the construction is so intense it's causing mirrors to fall off. And I actually can attest right now because I can't even see the construction. It's kind of around the corner from me, but I can definitely hear and feel that vibration. Plus, according to FDOT, more than 80 protected trees are at the risk of being affected during the construction. We don't know how many or if the trees will be affected, but shortly we will know once construction gets up and running a little bit more. Back to you guys.
We'll take a look at that picture.
Oh, what a beautiful live shot. The Pontchartrain River in New Orleans waking up. A crazy, crazy scene expected later throughout the week in that city. And we're going to have some good times rolling here in Pensacola as well.
Tonight is the very last second line in downtown on Palafox. The gathering starts at 5 o'clock, step off at 5:30.
Mardi Gras crews out there in force, live music, and this has all been Pensacola Mardi Gras' effort to support downtown businesses during the construction along Palafox. So this is the last one before the big grand Mardi Gras parade on Saturday.
All the information regarding all the events in Pensacola and beyond for Mardi Gras, scan the QR on your screen, takes you to our website. We have everything you need to know about all the events and what you can and cannot do when you want to go out and have a good time for Mardi Gras.
And as you're trying out all your Mardi Gras outfits and gowns and costumes, send us a picture. We would love to share your Mardi Gras fun on the show, and that goes for all the post-parade pics as well. You can use the Chime In tab on the website or on the mobile.
This morning, a second deadline has passed regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. We'll take a look at where the investigation stands as we move through week number 2.
Some lawmakers speaking out about the latest batch of Jeffrey Epstein files, and they are not happy. Their number one complaint about the documents right now.
But we're going to just take a moment, as we often do during our programs, to kind of take a breath and enjoy some delicious coffee.
We gave you time to get ready there. See? Cheers.
Cheers. The deadline set in the ransom note, possibly connected to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, have now passed.
And the search for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is now in its second week. The ransom note was sent to a TV station in Tucson, demanding $6 million in Bitcoin by 5 p.m. yesterday, and it threatened Nancy Guthrie's life if it was not met.
We understand 2 messages have been sent to the TV station and TMZ. It's being reported by ABC News. They appear to be from the same person, using the same encryption tools to cover their tracks.
At the same time, Savannah Guthrie posted another video, and this time she is asking for help from everyone and anyone.
So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
And new billboards are going up across the country, urging anyone with information about the case to call authorities. The FBI not able to determine whether the demand in the ransom note is credible.
They say they are not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers, nor they say have they identified a suspect or person of interest at this time.
For the first time, lawmakers are now able to review the unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files at the Department of Justice.
Republican Thomas Massey and Democrat Ro Khanna among those who went in to look, and they say the DOJ redacted several names of men that they say should be revealed to the public. Matter of fact, Thomas Massey is threatening to read those names on the floor of the House of Representatives.
However, he says he'll give the Justice Department time to respond. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche accuses those lawmakers of, quote, grandstanding, and says the DOJ is making the changes.
You can also check out Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna's X feed. She's got a lot of good information on this. It all comes as Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell appeared virtually from her prison cell in Texas for a congressional deposition yesterday.
She was questioned about Epstein's crimes, but refused to answer, invoking the Fifth Amendment after every single question. Now, her attorneys say she, quote, is prepared to speak fully and honestly if she is granted clemency by President Trump.
And this morning, a new document claims in the mid-2000s, President Trump called the police about Epstein. This document shows Trump called a man believed to be a former Palm Beach police chief named Michael Ryder. The president saying, quote, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this.
The president has denied having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, but the former police chief says Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein.
The report's also saying that in that call, he called Ghislaine Maxwell evil. Lots of opinions on social media, more than 100 comments coming in on our posts.
Mary says if she is pleading the Fifth instead of talking like before, perhaps she should be put back at the prison in Tallahassee. AJ
wrote, and yet she wants to get an early release.
And lastly from Jonathan, she's protecting herself, looking for the art of the deal.
All right, this morning, the community celebrating Pensacola native and Super Bowl champion Devin Witherspoon.
As we have told you, the defensive back played a major role in the Seahawks' 29-13 victory over the Patriots Sunday. We spoke to Marquette Oliver and Lee Burt, former coaches at Pine Forest High School. They say Witherspoon was dedicating his life to sports.
He also played basketball, and he was a track star. What an athlete. He set relay records in the 2019 state championship, did not even give football a try until his junior year in high school.
Who knew it'd lead into playing for the University of Illinois and then becoming a standout player in the NFL.
Is number 21 playing cornerback.
It just translated everything that he had on the basketball court, he brought to the football field, and it clicked instantly for him.
I just hope that somebody look up to him and say, I want.
On Sunday, Witherspoon secured 4 tackles, a sack, and 3 quarterback hits. He's going to be back in town for the Martin Emerson Youth Football Camp, and he's also hosting a backpack giveaway at his very own Pine Forest High School.
A lot of support coming in for him since the Super Bowl victory. Many locals are wishing him congratulations on social media.
From Larry, Devin played a great game. He kept the heat on the quarterback.
From Yvonne, he's a walking Hall of Famer. Well done.
Jones shared in part, this young man was sensational. He never let up. They played like it was the last game that he would ever play.
All right, more to talk about the game. Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show, now the most watched of all time.
Early figures show 135 million viewers Sunday night. That's reported by CBS News, though the official numbers have not yet been released.
Apple Music says even the pre-show press conference was the most watched in Super Bowl history. The All-American halftime show put on by Turning Point USA had maybe 6.1 million viewers Sunday night. That show also aired on a handful of cable news channels.
It's been streamed on YouTube now about 21 million times. Lots of streams in particular for Kid Rock's rendition of Till You Can't. Last year's Super Bowl, by the way, was watched by 127.7 million people.
Of course, we want to know what you think. Here's your question. Was Bad Bunny the right choice for Super Bowl 60's halftime show?
74% of you said no. Only 26% think that the NFL made the right choice.
Well, good morning. We are looking at some fog this morning. We are taking a live look over our Hardee's camera. Typically, you can see Pensacola Beach. Can't see that right now. We do have dense fog across the area, so if you are traveling this morning, give yourself a little extra time. You are going to be encountering those spots that are going to be a little more dense. And you can see right now, your dense fog advisory does go until 9 o'clock this morning, so we are expecting that dense fog to be around for at least the next couple of hours. You can see right now, we do have visibility very low. This is going to be what we're going to be dealing with travel-wise for this morning. This is the only thing we're going to be watching today, because after that fog lifts, it should be a pleasant day. You just have to get through that fog through this morning. And you can see it does lift as you get closer to about 10 to 11 a.m. Going into the rest of your day, we should be looking at better visibility, still looking at clouds, but we're not going to be looking at the fog until the nighttime. And then that fog is expected to roll right back in as we head into the overnight hours tomorrow morning. Looking at another chance of that dense fog, so you want to make sure you're prepared for another day where you're going to want to give yourself just a few extra minutes to travel. Going into Wednesday, we have a system moving through that brings us a small chance of rain, and it does kick that fog out. And you can see that here, that fog just offshore, it gets pushed out. And look at your Thursday morning, we'll be looking at decent visibility. So not going to be lasting all week. We'll just have this morning, tomorrow morning with that fog before it does clear out. Let's talk about your temperatures now. We are quite mild. We're in the 50s right now. It's warm, it's humid. We're expecting highs to get into the 70s today, and we will be looking at a very similar trend temperature-wise. We have a couple of systems heading our way, but our temperatures don't change too much. We're still going to be looking warm, even though we do have some rain coming our way. And you can see right now your radar is dry. We'll just have a few more clouds building in later into your day. So first chance of rain this week comes tomorrow. And you can see we do have the clouds around. We'll deal with that morning fog tomorrow. Heading into your Wednesday afternoon, evening, we'll deal with a few isolated showers. So it is going to be a small rain chance that moves in. It does continue through about 7 p.m. It does move out, and then you will be looking at some more sunshine heading into Thursday. Friday, we'll be looking at another chance of rain. Saturday, Sunday, going to be your best chance of those showers. Sea-tail rain forecast, 1 foot for the Gulf. Winds are variable at about 5 knots, and we do have your yellow flags flying with a good chance they will be yellow or green later on today. Let's get you through your week ahead. We can see those temperatures staying warm. We are going to have that small chance of rain tomorrow, kicking out that fog for Thursday morning, and then your rain chances increasing as you head into the weekend with about a 50% chance of those showers and thunderstorms both Saturday and Sunday.
Coming up, the Buddhist monks on a walk for peace reaching a major milestone today. We'll take a look at some of the serious setbacks they have overcome as the march continues. We're going to check back in now with those Buddhist monks who are on a walk for peace across the nation, heading for Washington, D.C. They will officially complete their journey today.
Got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Couldn't help it, sorry.
Yeah, they've been doing that off camera too, all the Smokey and the Bandit song, whatever.
Yeah, but they've been walking to D.C. from Texas for about 108 days. Today is day 108, and they were leaving Virginia this morning, crossing into D.C.
A big ceremony at the Washington National Cathedral this afternoon, taking part in some private events at the George Washington University as well.
They've traveled 2,300 miles on foot. A lot of you heard about their dog Aloka, who is still recovering from surgery, but she made a large portion of the walk with them. Yesterday, they were also reunited with a monk who was injured in an accident when the group left Houston. He had his leg amputated, but he's going to be joining back in for the end of the journey.
You know, that guy in front setting the pace, you know, and he's booking it.
They're not wasting time.
It's a fast walk.
Yeah, well, that's been a beautiful experience to follow, and you can still catch up with them on Facebook.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
All right, this is from John Juarez. Built the wife a greenhouse this past summer, saved our plants this winter. Lots of plumerias we've brought from Hawaii on our visit.
That is
amazing.
so great, yes.
And from Barbara Wirtz, look very closely. This is entitled, Can You See Me?
Oh, I don't know.
I see you.
Is there a doggy in that picture?
Somewhere.
Yeah. Thanks for the shots, everybody. Stay with us. We got 2 water rescues. Both happened right here in Florida. We'll tell you who is credited for saving 2 families. $7:28 now on the Morning Current. It's been more than a week since the search began for a missing family out of Theodore, Alabama.
Neighbors were the last to see Aurelia Shakak and 2 children, ages 2 and 17. Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch says no signs of forced entry at the home, but there was blood throughout the home and signs of a struggle. Cell phones were left behind. Aurelia's mattress and laundry hamper are missing as well.
Investigators checked 2 locations yesterday. Some clues may have been discovered. Law enforcement has not specifically commented on that at this point. Birch says Aurelia and her 17-year-old daughter had final deportation orders. Her 2-year-old son is a U.S. citizen. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are helping in the search.
Talking about 2 rescues in Martin County, Florida, police are praising the good, regular, everyday people who intervened and got the job done.
The first one was on Sunday. Deputies rushing to a canal where they say they had learned about a crash because an observant driver noticed the car behind them was no longer there.
Deputies found a woman and her 3 children submerged in the car. They got the kids and the mom out. They say the woman had a seizure of one sort and just drove off the road. Children apparently doing okay, thanks in part to the oldest child, 9-year-old, who held siblings above the water.
Can you imagine? The mom is currently on a ventilator, so we will keep thinking good thoughts for that family. And days earlier, we have learned, a pregnant woman on her 29th birthday crashed her car into this lake after she said she started feeling dizzy and then started losing control of the car.
Got on the phone, but the phone died in the process. The car was sinking and she was stuck. Now a Good Samaritan nearby just swam out 40 feet to the car, opened the back door, and pulled her out.
She was taken to the hospital. Doctors did an emergency C-section. By then her fiance was there, and check it out, happy ending, and that is a brand new baby girl.
Doesn't look like it, but no injuries after a small plane crash in Georgia.
This was yesterday afternoon in Gainesville. Pilot reportedly had to make an emergency landing after the plane had some engine problems, crashed right there on that road, hitting several vehicles in the process.
They avoided the power lines and the power poles. 2 individuals on board the aircraft, identified by authorities as an experienced pilot and a student pilot, they were not seriously injured.
2 other people were taken to the hospital. We're told they had minor injuries. Now, FAA records show this plane was returning to Gainesville from Blunsville, Tennessee, after making a stop in Knoxville.
Good morning. It is 7:31 here on the Morning Current. Let's talk about the great outdoors for a second.
Yeah, Brooke, that fog is hanging in so far.
Yeah, we should see it for at least the next hour and a half, it looks like, before we start to see it lift. Right now, we are still looking at it quite dense across the area. Okaloosa Island, still able to see some in the over our camera. There's other cameras we have, though, where we're not able to see too far. We do have your dense fog advisory through 9 o'clock this morning, and we are expecting conditions to just be low visibility through the morning hours. Now, right now we have anywhere between half a mile or below. That's what most of our sensors are indicating. So that's why you want to give yourself that extra time, because even if you don't see too much fog as you are heading out and about, you might be encountering that as you are driving around. Now your temperatures, they are staying pretty warm. We're staying in the 50s right now. We'll get into those 60s quickly today, 70s for your highs. It does come with light winds, and we should be looking at dry skies. We'll have a few more clouds today, but we're not expecting any rain. You can see that dry radar for today. Now as you head out the door, make sure you're prepared for that fog. It does burn off as we go into the later morning. By the afternoon, we should be looking at some partly sunny skies. We'll still have mostly clouds around the area. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s for your highs today, and then into the nighttime, temperatures will start to drop back into the 60s and the 50s. We are expecting the fog to roll back in tonight, so make sure you're prepared for that fog to redevelop as you wake up tomorrow morning. We'll eventually have some rain later tomorrow that could kick out that fog chance. We'll talk about that coming up.
Speaking of the fog, this is a live shot of Scenic Highway near 110 this morning. No issues there, I-10 rather, no problems other than the fog this morning, but it is still there, so be careful.
President Trump is threatening to block a new bridge that would eventually connect Ontario, Canada with Detroit, Michigan.
On Truth Social, he said he won't let the Gordie Howe International Bridge open until the U.S. is, quote, fully compensated. In that post, he mentions Canada doesn't sell U.S.-made spirits and alcoholic beverages. The president also mentions Canada is trying to make a trade deal with China.
In the past, the president has threatened tariffs as high as 100% on Canada. If that were to happen, Michigan lawmakers criticized the threat, saying it would hurt their economy. Here's the status of the bridge under construction right now. It's going to cost $4.6 billion, and Canada is actually paying for the whole thing.
Beef, it's what's for dinner, still.
And apparently we're buying it still. Data comes from the National Cattlemen's Association. Here we go. In 2025, Americans spent $45 million on beef, 6.2 billion pounds worth.
That, by the way, I don't know who figured it out, but it's enough to give everyone on the planet 3 hamburgers. Spending's up 12% from 2024. From March to December of last year, beef prices climbed about 20%. Economists say demand is driving prices even higher.
After years of drought, high feed costs, and aging ranching populations across the country, the prices are rough because of the lowest U.S. cattle supply in more than 70 years. The Trump administration, and they have talked about this a lot, they want to somehow ease beef prices. Right now, that included temporarily increasing imports from Argentina. They have also laid out some long-term plans to try and bolster the U.S. cattle industry.
Yesterday on the Morning Current, we talked about a new poll that says most Americans really don't approve of how the president is handling the economy, and we did our own poll.
It seemed to align with the national results, 31% saying they are satisfied, 69% saying they are unhappy.
That's some good news. In the mix, the Sun Belt Conference men's and women's basketball tournaments returning to the Bay Center next month.
It's going to happen March 3rd through 9th. All 14 schools in the conference will be competing. The champions get an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament to compete for a national championship. So if you want to get in on the action, check out the ticket info at WEARTV.com.
Off to the Olympics. Apparently, some of the Olympic medals are kind of falling apart. The athletes are not happy. We'll get a closer look at this in just a second. Let's look at that a little bit later on. It's pretty hard to watch.
I guess that's why they cut it off. Maybe we should just have a coffee break.
I think that's what we'll do. Join us.
All right, Team USA is dropping to 6th in the medal rankings of the Winter Olympics in Italy.
Yes, we still have 4 medals overall, 2 gold, 2 silver, but handed off to Norway. They're currently in the lead, 5 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze. I said it wrong, didn't I? Italy's in the lead.
With the most overall.
Overall, Italy has 10. So it's so early. It's almost like, why worry about it right now? Just enjoy watching the competition.
Someone's going to get in trouble over this, I would think. The Olympic medals are kind of falling apart, it seems.
It's crazy. They say that they are falling off of the ribbons. Specifically, USA skier Breezy Johnson and figure skater Alyssa Liu both had problems with it.
Yeah, Johnson say it happened while she was celebrating. Told other athletes not to jump while wearing the medal. Why are you jumping? No, I'm just kidding. The Olympic organizers are now investigating and working on a solution. I'm sure they'll fix it.
And we were talking about this. They had problems in Paris as well. They had some kind of issues there where medals had to be replaced. They were tarnishing and corroding. So, you know, it ain't easy, I guess, getting the Olympics together.
How about Lindsey Vonn? I mean, you got to give her credit. 41 years old, going for the gold yet again, and it all came tumbling down.
I mean, seriously, what a competitor. She was the oldest between men and women. She adds, my ACL, which was, you know, already torn as she was skiing. Yeah. My ACL and past injuries had nothing to do with my crash whatsoever.
Yeah, she said she was running too tight, got hooked around the gate, twisted, and crashed. She did suffer a
Her, though. I mean, you know, just great. Bad, but great. She's a great athlete.
I know. And if that was a little too fast-paced for you, if your stomach is in knots, let's update you on Team USA and curling. The mixed doubles.
Team Canada, that ought to be good. Coming hot off Team USA's victory over Sweden, 5-0. In their first 3 games, Team USA is only allowed 1 goal.
Let's move to men's figure skating as the qualifiers continue. Lots of skiing events today as well. Everybody's favorite, the luge, is on, as well as some ski jumping events today. Lots of fun stuff.
Question. I was watching the Olympics yesterday, trying to decide what is the most difficult Winter Olympic sport.
All of them.
Yeah, I couldn't even speculate because there are different ways, right? Some are physically taxing, and then luge would just be flat out terrifying.
Well, the ski and shoot one seems difficult.
Oh, the biathlon thing?
Yeah. You have to ski, and then you have to like calm down and shoot.
And your fingers are cold?
And then you have to get back up and like ski really fast.
Do you have one?
I was figure skating.
Fair point. Jerry, you make a fine point. All right, check out these stories and more on WEAR's YouTube channel. Check out the top local and national news, YouTube shorts for quick bites of content, and of course, the Morning Minute. It is all there. Search WEAR News on YouTube.
For a lot of folks, one job isn't enough. A lot of people are working multiple, and there's a new term for multiple jobs on the way.
More and more people fighting inflation every way they can. You know, our salaries haven't kept up. In many cases, they're frozen solid, right? What's secure? Perhaps a second job.
I have a second job.
You do, that's right, yeah.
Some people are taking maybe a second or third additional side job. It's now called, used to be a side hustle,
Used to be a side hustle, but now
polyworking.
Doesn't that make it sound way
It
fancier? Oh my gosh. So basically people are supplementing their income. Maybe they fear a potential layoff at the job they have now and they want to kind of put a foundation down for something else.
Here we go. People are creating what they're calling portfolio careers, a number of jobs that each build on a skill that you have.
So you could have a couple. Experts say if you're thinking about polyworking, there are a few things to keep in mind, and one of them is follow a passion. You'll be spending a lot of your free time doing it, so make sure it's something you at least like.
They also say be realistic about the money. There may be some initial investment. How long will it take you to recoup that? You know, the ROI business. And know the risks of gig work.
Some platforms, for example, if you're doing some type of influencer thing or marketing thing online, they'll just change up the algorithm when you start making good money. The house always wins, as they say. And please be skeptical. There are so many scams all over the place, YouTube, email. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Solid.
Favorite story of the day. Did you see this one, Brooke? Okay, we've all had the heartbreak and wanted to get revenge, right? With Valentine's Day in the offing, the Panhandle Animal Welfare Society, PAWS, in Fort Walton Beach will help you get back at your ex in a most delightful way.
Oh, yeah, it's offering to write your ex's name on a heart and toss it in the litter box. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. Their cats will take it from there.
Look at those faces. Those cats are determined to avenge your heartbreak. It's $5. That's all it is. It's the perfect way to heal your broken heart, they say. Of course, helping homeless pets at the same time. Look at those cats. They're out for vengeance. Anyway, your donation will go toward food, medical care, and all the needs of the sweet, sweet animals that have been left behind.
Everybody wins.
Everybody.
Well, sort of.
It's like
except the person whose name is on the heart.
Oh, yeah, but we're just laughing about that. Okay, moving right on to Valentine's Day is in the offing. The big Mardi Gras parade is in the offing. Lots of stuff going on this week, and the weather is important.
Yeah, and it does look like we're going to be looking at rain. So that's what we're going to be watching as we head into the weekend. Today we do have some fog that we are dealing with. You can see we do have low visibility, kind of a weird shot there. You can see where that fog is. It's going to be a little bit lower. You can see clear skies above it, but we are going to be shrouded in fog this morning. Make sure you give yourself that extra time. You want to make sure you are giving yourself a few extra minutes because it is going to be quite dense in some spots. Dense fog advisory is still in place, and you can see we are anywhere about a quarter of a mile or less for some of us. So it is going to be very low visibility this morning. Let's take a look at what we can expect visibility wise through the day. So it should come to an end as we get closer to about 10 to 11. We should be looking at some better visibility. We're expecting the fog to roll back in tonight into tomorrow morning after about 9 p.m. for that fog to start to slowly roll in. You're mainly going to notice it Wednesday morning. So it is going to be another morning that you're going to have visibility issues. Now Wednesday is going to be where we have our first chance of rain build in. Small little system moving in brings us a tiny chance of rain, but it should kick that fog out. And you can see that fog moves just offshore as we go later into the morning. Then look at what happens by the evening. That fog rolls out, and we will be looking at some clearer conditions for that Thursday. No visibility problems heading into Thursday. Temperature wise, we're in the 50s right now. We're not going to have too much of a change with our temperatures going forward. 50s for those lows, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Even though we do have a couple of systems moving through, bringing us a chance of rain, not going to have it change our temperature. So you can see our radar does look dry. We do have our first chance of rain moving in later on Wednesday. So you can see those clouds moving in for today. Let's take a look at that Wednesday. You can see cloudy skies through most of the morning, afternoon. By the evening, we will have a chance of some isolated showers. It would be a very small chance of rain, moves out quickly, and then as you head into your Thursday, a little more sunshine, and then we'll have some rain chances moving back in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's talk about your sea-time rain forecast. We do have 1 foot for the Gulf. Winds are variable at about 5 knots for today, and we do have your yellow flags flying with a good chance we will keep yellow or green flags later on today. Let's get you through your week ahead. We do have temperatures in the 70s for today. We're going to stay in the 70s, upper 60s as you head through the week. We will be looking at a small rain chance later on tomorrow evening. That's going to kick that fog chance out for you Thursday. And then we will be looking at more rain as we head into the weekend. 50% chance of those showers Saturday and Sunday.
At 10 before 8 o'clock, we do have an issue for you. This is a live shot. Take a look. This is I-10 at mile marker number 32 in Baldwin County. Multi-car crash in the eastbound lanes. They're blocked and will be closed for what they're calling an undetermined amount of time.
Be careful out there. Stay with us. The Super Bowl 61 logo is out. Okay, stare at those colors because you know, according to the conspiracy theory, they could determine who plays in the next game. We'll tell you what the NFL says those colors mean on the way.
Here we go. The NFL rolling out the logo for Super Bowl 61, and people say that it may reveal the teams that'll play next year.
We've been tracking the conspiracy theory for you. Let's bring in AJ from the control room. I love that I've swung her to the side of tinfoil hats. And now, AJ, you've got this down better than I do.
You got me, Laura. You've got me. So we have the Super Bowl logo for Super Bowl 61. I think we have a picture of it, Vanessa. If we can punch it up in just a second, we're going to pull that up for you. But basically, this game is going to be in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. It features this big wave. And the heavy colors, I'm looking down at my notes, I'm sorry, are this teal blue color, a lot of orange, a lot of yellow. The orange kind of goes into a red color. And then we have, of course, like the black details. I personally see a lot of teal, a lot of orange. I don't know about you guys, but that to me says Miami Dolphins. Like above all.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yes.
That's going to be hard for
And
them.
the game is...
Yeah, Brooke's like, no.
There is that too. There's a lot working against them there. And then, you know, it's in LA, and the Rams colors are blue and yellow, so there's that. I don't think this bodes well for the Ravens or the Vikings. But
yeah.
Vanessa and I were talking, and Brooke, I don't think that this means game over for the Packers. I think teal can be interpreted as a green, right?
It could be.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's yellow.
It's a fancy,
Yeah,
it's a fancy green.
Don't worry,
AJ
guys.
Brooks even waffling on her own team. She's like, maybe.
Right.
listen, I think that we have a great team. I'm excited for them this year, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if the blue and the green, I don't really believe in this theory anymore, because I swear the Packers were going to go to the Super Bowl this year because of the green and the logo, and that didn't happen. Now
all right, you get your story and stick to it.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, AJ, and that's a cool looking logo. Thank you so much.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
Well, good morning. Look at this. This is from Lori Streamer. Kitty loves watching everyone wave at her when you're getting ready for commercial breaks on the Morning Current.
And this is from Cheryl Cross. Snowflake is a year old today and celebrating. Happy birthday, Snowflake.
All right, here's one for Kitty.
Well, there we go. And for Snowflake, who, by the way, I can clearly tell is a good dog.
We'll be right back on the Morning Current. Out of time, but we will do it all again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching the Morning Current. We hope to see you Tuesday.
Right here, 7 o'clock.